There are some guys who whack off while hanging themselves from the neck. I don't know if you ever heard of this. It's called Auto-erotic Asphyxiation. Very fancy name for a very filthy thing. And it should be called whacking off while you fucking try to hang yourself. But, and listen, I understand hanging yourself in the neck until dead. No, I do, because I've had people. But you know when someone kills themselves, people always go, I don't understand that. I don't understand how anybody can do that. And I go, you don't? Where you live, a fucking cotton candy house or something? Don't you live in life? Where all these bad things all have happened? Don't understand it at all. So I understand that. But I don't understand just for whacking off. I mean, you know? And I understand the reason. Like they said, apparently if you, it cuts off your oxygen supply, so it makes your orgasm that you have something like, I think it's 1.5 times as powerful as the orgasm that you had last Thursday. So I can understand that, but in my mind, there's bigger problems in the fucking world. You know, I don't want to get all Bill Maher on you and shit, but what about the forest where, you know, it's raining and all that? Isn't that more important than how bad whacking off? Personally, I don't think whacking off is that bad. I think it's good. It's one of the few things in all my life that hasn't, you know, let me down. I've never whacked off and go, God damn, that was tedious. That was getting a little dull. I gotta get a rope or some shit. I go down to the rope store, get me a rope. Then I'll go down to the rickety stool store. I get a rickety stool. And I'll have one of them orgasms. That's 3/2 times more stronger than the one I had 4 days then. Here's the thing. And I know Kung Fu did it and stuff, and I'm not trying to say, I'm not up here saying I'm smarter than Kung Fu. But just maybe there's one case. But here's the problem, because if you do that, you know, and then it accidentally kill you, then they think you kill, you know, and you're like, ah, and then they find you. I don't know. Look, nobody knows what happens after you die, you know? No one. People can claim they do, but no one really knows. It's a question that's plagued mankind since the dawn of time. But I do know what happens right after you die, and that is you are found. So, here's how you don't want to be found. Because, you know, and it's loved ones that always find you, and you don't want them walking, gross! What the? Probably put that in your tombstone. Gross! What the? Does that, let's say it's your son, find you like that? God, is that worth the orgasm? I don't believe it is either. I agree with you. You know, people think, sometimes I think people think that if they're good parents, their child will remember them as good. But that's not true. Because children don't, like memory don't work like a movie, like a motion picture. You don't remember much, you know? You just remember like little snapshots of, you know. So you're not going to go, I remember my dad, yeah, I remember when I was 5, he took me to Disneyland, and it was hot, man, it was 90, and he stood with me in line for 2 hours to get Mickey Mouse autograph in the killing heat. And he knew it wasn't Mickey Mouse, he knew it was some college fucking kid. But he waited because he loved me. And I remember he had 2 jobs. He didn't have much. And I remember he come one time into my bedroom. It was late at night. And he was working a second job, driving a hack. And he come in my bedroom. And I was awake. I pretended to be asleep. I was awake. I heard him come in. And he'd come up to me and he kissed me on the bridge of my nose, on the lower of my forehead. And then the next day I woke up and he was gone because he had to go to his other job because he worked 2 jobs, so that all they remember is, So you gotta be careful. If I ever did it, I would pretend it was a real suicide. So if anything went wrong, you see, I'd write a note and everything like that. That way, if it's a real suicide, and then your loved one finds you, they'll go, gross, you know, they'll go, whoa, mysterious. Mysterious fellow. I would never tell you to hang yourself in the neck until dead or anything like that. But you know how people always go, I want to be remembered? That you will be remembered for.